Hey guys, it's Shelfy and welcome to another episode of the Krafty Koopa. Today we're going to be making something kind of similar to a video on my channel where I painted a tiny little pumpkin with Nintendo controllers, except today we're painting this big pumpkin with Koopas on it. As you can see, I've been practicing here. So let's get started with what you'll need. So obviously the first thing you're gonna need is a pumpkin. I have a fake one this time around because if you use a real one, just be warned that yeah, it looks really nice, but it is temporary and it will last about a month and a half if you don't like carve it out, which if you're painting on it, I don't know why you'd carve it out. But fake ones will be permanent and real ones will be temporary because they rot. So you can pick whatever pumpkin you want to use, but for my purposes, I'm going to use a fake one today. You will also need an assortment of acrylic paints. Acrylic paints are very temporary, or no, not temporary. Acrylic paints are very permanent in nature, so it's going to stick to the pumpkin. If you use acrylic, don't use like watercolor or something like that because that will not show up on the pumpkin because it's very light. But acrylics are really thick and heavy and permanent, so this is what you want. And I am using the colors to paint Koopa Troopa, and Dry Bones. So yeah, I have all these. Next, you're gonna need some brushes. I just have a random variety of brushes. You can even get a foam brush too if you want to do like big areas, which I guess I recommend it for like doing generally large portions of the Koopa, but it doesn't do little details, so you're gonna want a little brush too. Next, you're gonna want a paint palette. I've already started mine to mix your colors on, put your colors on, stuff like that. And if you want, this is optional, you can use some paper to practice on. And yeah, just before you start the pumpkin, if you want to get practicing on your Koopas, go ahead. And finally, you're going to need some reference pictures, which I have on my phone right here. So I've got Koopa Troopa, Dry Bones, and Koopa Troopa. And for me, I'm going to be using their newest artwork. So basically the only thing I can say in regards to making this is just paint the Koopas on your pumpkin in wherever you like. I'm going to do like so that they're all around the pumpkin, like in an even sort of space, I guess. So I'm going to do one here and then two on the sides back here, so it's like they're all around the pumpkin. I'm not just gonna do one design on the front. I'm gonna do a all around type thing. Some tips I have, I guess, is that you may need multiple coats of yellow and white, especially because those are really weak colors and this dark orange is a pretty strong color compared to those. And another thing is, you can add a little bit of shading on your Koopas just to, I guess, bring out its facial features a little bit more. And that's really it. So I'm gonna paint this. So one tip is to avoid streakiness when you're painting your character. You're going to want to you can paint in different directions when you're first outlining it, but when you fill it in, you're going to want to paint in one direction. So what I'm doing is I'm just going downward, trying to smooth everything out. Also, when doing parts that touch each other, you're either going to want to be really careful around the edges or wait till, like, let's say wait till the white part has dried in order to do the red part of the shell. So once you are done painting all your Koopas, which should take you quite some time, you have your Koopa themed pumpkin. So here's how mine turned out. My Koopas weren't as evenly spaced as I would have liked them to be, so I added some little emotions and a little rare for my really chubby dry bones, which I was kind of like peeved at first, and then I really grew to love this chubby dry bones. My Paratroopa came out really nice, and I think my Koopa did as well. So I just added little emotions for them, and then I wrote the Krafty Koopa on it twice in opposite directions. But yeah. So have fun making your Koopa themed pumpkin. If you want to check out my main channel, you can go to youtube.com/shelfyandco. And if you want to see more episodes of the Krafty Koopa, keep it right here on the Nintendo Enthusiast channel. See you guys next video. Bye!